Love is wonderful when it flows both ways. But when love is a one-way street, someone is headed for a dead end. In 2005, the Lutheran Church in Springfield Township, Pennsylvania, is abuzz. A new pastor arrives, and the handsome Greg Shreves hits all the right notes with the choir.
Well, good morning, ladies. Please be seated. Now, as you all know, I'm leaving at the end of the month. So I'd like you all to join me in making Pastor Greg feel very welcome.
Thank you.
A lot of people at the church were taken with Pastor Shreves. He definitely had a personality. He was very engaging.
Well, I wasn't expecting that.
He was a tall, good-looking man who previously was a golf pro, and he moved out of that fast-paced life to become a pastor.
Pastor Greg turns many heads.
Oh, Pastor Greg, it's so lovely to meet you.
But no one is more excited than 65-year-old Mary Jane Fonder.
Hello, hello. I'm Mary Jane. Welcome.
Thank you, Mary Jane.
An eccentric parishioner known for her ill-fitting wigs.
I help out at the church on Mondays and Tuesdays.
And her love of a good chat.
A lot of people would describe Mary Jane Fonder as the aunt you wouldn't want to sit next to at Thanksgiving dinner because she would just talk your ear off.
We will be working together very closely.
Poor guy. She's gonna talk his ear off.
I help fold the newsletters. I put up the bulletin board. You name it, I do it. I'm General Dog's Body around here.
Mary Jane hadn't had a loving, intimate relationship for over 30 years. When she meets Pastor Greg, she falls head over heels.
Mary Jane has little social contact outside the church.
She certainly had difficulty in building any relationships with people. She knew no boundaries, which is why she gravitated to a church environment, because they would be more inclined to accept her for who she is.
She's soon convinced Pastor Greg is her destiny.
Oh, Pastor Greg, you shouldn't be doing that.
Mary Jane, what are you doing here on a Wednesday?
I'm here for you, and I'm not going anywhere.
She was infatuated by him.
Oh, it's quite okay, Mary Jane. I can manage on my own.
And she's certain that he feels the same way.
If you'll excuse me.
Weeks go by until Mary Jane decides their love can no longer be denied.
We need to talk.
My door is always open.
Pastor Greg realizes he may have a problem.
You can't deny what's between us.
Total made-up story in Mary Jane Fonder's mind.
Mary Jane, there is no us.
Too soon.
You need to leave.
He was shocked, but in Mary Jane's mind, he loved her.
Love is also in the air in the quiet town of Livermore, California in 2002. 17-year-old Jenna Simons waits at the school gate.
What are you waiting for? Mike is meant to be here.
For her husband.
She met Michael Simons. They fell in love. You know, he was 19, she was 17. Her grandmother signed consent that she could marry Mike.
It's only been a month.
Hello there.
Hi there.
But already, Mike has a wandering eye.
Michael Simons was an attractive person who a lot of women wanted to be with.
Head of the queue, Jenna's classmate, Katie Belflower.
See you, lovebirds.
On the surface, looks like a sweet, innocent person, almost like a librarian. But underneath the surface, it was a whole different story.
Katie has a notorious reputation for stealing boyfriends. And she seems to have Jenna's husband in her sights.
Teenage girls thought he had a lot to offer, but he didn't. Kind of a loser, had trouble with the law, rejected by the Army, had a temper. He was a pathological liar as well.
Just Katie's type. Mike is easily seduced by Katie's charms. After just a month of marriage, he tells Jenna he wants a divorce.
He moved out and then moved in with Katie Belflower.
Mike, can we talk?
No, I'm done talking.
Jenna tries hard to save her marriage.
Please, hon, I still love you.
I'm not in love with you.
But I can't live without you.
But she's no match for the manipulative Katie.
She had no empathy for anyone.
We're done.
Anybody that stood in her way was in danger.
Jenna has all but given up on her marriage. When out of the blue, Mike invites her over. It's a ray of hope.
So good to see you.
She thought that her and Michael were gonna live happily ever after.
But Mike's not really interested in reconciliation. He's lured his wife into a trap. Katie and their friend Jeffrey Hamilton are ready to pounce.
Jeffrey Hamilton was a social misfit, basically no friends other than Catherine Belflower and Mike Simons.
Okay, get the car.
Katie retrieved a baseball bat from within the residence. Walked out on the porch, and from behind, struck Jenna Simons. The way they deal with relationship problems is just dangerous. They're a danger to society.
Mary Jane Fonda is having her own relationship problems in Springfield Township, Pennsylvania.
Mary Jane.
Too soon.
Pastor Greg Shreves is playing hard to get. So Mary Jane expresses her love in subtle ways.
Mary Jane took it upon herself to go in his home and leave food in his refrigerator.
What are you doing here?
Making sure you don't starve.
No, please. Go and never break into my house again.
He eventually had to tell her to stop.
This time, Pastor Greg makes his feelings very clear.
He wouldn't eat any of the food that she delivered, and nor would he give it away to anybody because he just didn't feel comfortable. That's how bad things started to get.
Mary Jane wasn't taking the hint, but she was getting angry.
How could you do this? Somebody's trying to take care of you. and you're snubbing him. So ungrateful.
And she's becoming dangerous.
Things get worse when a new member joins the congregation, 42-year-old Rhonda Smith. For Mary Jane, it's rivalry at first sight.
She was somebody who clearly had issues in terms of jealousy.
Rhonda, a gifted singer, is welcomed by the choir with open arms.
She was well accepted. She was funny. She connected with people. And from Mary Jane's point of view, she never felt accepted by the group. But she's watching them put their arms around Rhonda and welcome her. Bad.
When Rhonda falls on hard times, she turns to her new friends at the church.
I can't work, so tired. Now I can't afford my medication.
It must be difficult.
Rhonda had confided in some of the church members and Pastor Shreves that she was not doing very well financially.
I'm so embarrassed.
Oh, don't be. We all understand.
The parishioners sort of took up a collection to help her, pay her bills and her rent and everything.
Pastor, No.
Everyone was glad to help.
Rhonda was so touched that her church friends had done this for her.
But Mary Jane sees a very different picture.
I don't know how to thank you.
She started confabulating this idea that the pastor was having a relationship with Rhonda Smith. There wasn't any truth in that. It was all in Mary Jane Fonda's imagination.
Pastor Greg gives Rhonda the attention he's denied Mary Jane.
How about working in the office for a few days?
Really?
The pastor had a conference to go to. He asked Rhonda if she would be willing to be the secretary while he was away.
Thank you.
She jumped at the opportunity.
No one knew except Pastor Greg. Until one day, Mary Jane calls the office and Rhonda answers.
Hello?
This is Rhonda Smith. How can I help you?
That lit a fire inside of Mary Jane Fonda, which would ultimately result in an explosive catastrophe.
In Livermore, California, a teenage love triangle is headed the same way. The blow from Katie's baseball bat leaves Jenna stunned.
It didn't fracture the skull, it just split the skin, which causes a lot of blood.
Mike loads Jenna, barely conscious, into her own car.
Break, take me to the hospital.
But he doesn't take her to the hospital. Instead, he heads for a remote region deep in the California Delta.
Waiting there for Michael and Jenna were Katie Belflower and Jeffrey Hamilton.
Are they even gonna come?
Yes, okay, just calm down. They'll be here.
This mixture of personalities together, it makes an explosive situation. Michael wanted Jenna out of his life. She was creating too much drama for him.
But there's another reason Mike is prepared to kill the woman he married just 4 months earlier. A $50,000 life insurance policy.
Since they were still legally married, that he would be the beneficiary, would collect, a substantial amount of money, and that he and Catherine Belflower could live happily ever after.
It's them.
Katie provides the murder weapon.
Give me the gun.
A shotgun she stole from a neighbor's car.
Do it right.
Still dazed by the blow to the head,
Mike!
Jenna never sees the first shot coming.
beg for your life, and I may let you live.
He makes her beg for her life. Guns her down in cold blood.
But she doesn't die.
She's not dead yet. I need more ammo.
What? How long is this gonna take?
Catherine Belflower is the driving force behind this. She's just a sociopath. She's got no empathy, no remorse whatsoever.
You wuss?
The final shot is at point-blank range.
The brutality of it is just incomprehensible.
Bye-bye, wifey.
With the body out of sight, they set about getting rid of anything linking them to the murder. The shotgun, the baseball bat, and Jenna's car.
Michael lights a road flare, puts the lit road flare inside the Mustang, and proceeds to set the Mustang on fire.
It burned to a crisp.
The burnt-out car is found the next morning and is quickly traced back to Jenna, who's been reported missing.
It was unknown if she had run away or if she was deceased.
12 days later, Jenna's body is discovered.
She's found badly decomposed by a couple of fishermen.
Investigators speak to everyone close to Jenna. Katie, Mike, and Jeff provide alibis for each other.
They were the top suspects. They were the last persons to see her. There were inconsistencies in their stories.
But there's no physical evidence linking them to the crime.
We were never able to find the baseball bat. We were not able to find the shotgun either.
Mike and Katie believe they've got away with murder.
I was confident that Michael and Katie had some involvement.
In Springfield Township, Pennsylvania, Mary Jane Fonder is determined to get rid of her love rival. Trouble is, her rivalry with fellow parishioner Rhonda Smith is a product of her own mind.
Hello? This is Rhonda Smith.
That's a quantum leap to go from hearing someone's voice in an office and thinking they're having an affair with the man that you love. But for a jealous, insecure woman like Mary Jane, it wasn't a quantum leap at all. It made perfect sense.
On January 23rd, 2008, Mary Jane sets out to defend the man she loves.
Hello.
She entered the building, went into the office where she knew that Rhonda Smith was working.
Please. No. Please. Mary Jane. No.
The first bullet grazed the forehead of Rhonda. It was enough to knock her down and off her chair. Mary Jane Fonder calmly walked around the desk and shot into Rhonda's temple, execution style.
Fantasies and unfounded jealousy cost an innocent woman her life.
There was really nothing to be jealous of with Rhonda. She didn't wrong Mary Jane in any way.
When investigators interview Mary Jane, she starts talking and just can't stop.
So you know what happened to Rhonda?
It's also tragic. I sent the family a card. I even took them an apple pie.
Is that so, ma'am?
You start seeing insight into how her mind works. She was jealous beyond our comprehension of Rhonda Smith.
Do you own a gun?
I did. I threw it in the lake years ago.
Mary Jane's gun is found on the bank of the lake.
The state police ballistics determined that that was the gun used in the murder of Rhonda Smith. And we immediately get an arrest warrant for Mary Jane Fonder.
Mary Jane, can you come with us, please?
Mary Jane is deemed mentally fit to stand trial, but she is found to suffer from delusions.
People are delusional, but they're not psychotic in hearing voices and things like that. I think Mary Jane had a touch of it. To the end, she believes she killed the evil Rhonda to protect Pastor Greg.
In 2008, Mary Jane Fonder is convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. 10 years later, she dies of a heart attack, age 75.
The moral of the story is we don't know what goes on in other people's heads, and they could be distorting what the truth is.
In the back of their minds, Katie Belflower and Mike Simons believe they're getting away with murder.
You what?
But there's been no payday. Mike isn't entitled to the big life insurance payout he expected.
He didn't understand that the life insurance policy was taken out by the grandmother and was more like an investment than anything else. But Michael was never going to see that money.
But Katie comes up with an alternative reward. 5 months after brutally ending one troublesome love triangle, Katie sets up another.
Hey, baby. I got you a present. This is Aspen.
Hey, Aspen.
Hey, how are you?
She invites 16-year-old Aspen Lum into their bed.
Catherine introduced Aspen and Mike. For a period of time, there was a three-way love triangle.
The alternative arrangement works for a while.
Catherine Belflower became pregnant with Michael's child and decided that Aspen was in the way.
To Katie, the solution is simple.
Her thought process was that if I have a problem and if I have an obstacle, murder is a reasonable solution to that problem.
This time, she keeps Mike out of it, but again recruits Jeff Hamilton.
Katie called up Jeff and said, look, I need your help. I want to kill Aspen. She's in the way. I'm 5 months pregnant with Michael's child. You know, I want Michael back.
On February 28th, 2003, Katie invites Aspen out for a night of drinking.
They plied her with alcohol.
My dad would kill me if he knew I was out here.
Without warning, Jeff begins to choke her violently.
As Aspen fights for her life, Katie adds to her terror with a horrifying boast.
I killed Jenna, and now I'm gonna kill you. It's okay. It's okay.
But fate intervenes.
What's going on here? Is she all right?
And the only reason Aspen Lum is alive today is because Officer Tim Phillips arrived on the scene.
Caught in the act, Katie tells Officer Phillips they're caring for a sick friend.
It's okay, we got it. She's just a bit sick. Gloves are in case she vomits.
Her performance is flawless.
She was convincing. Katie Belflower is the most devious person I've ever had to deal with.
Thank you so much.
You take care.
Thank you.
The officer ensures Aspen is delivered home safely.
It'll be fine. Just keep your mouth shut. I love you.
She immediately told her parents exactly what had happened.
Aspen also reveals Katie's confession to Jenna's murder. All three involved are soon arrested, and police quickly realize they are dealing with two crimes.
Jeff Hamilton confessed, and Catherine Belflower ultimately realized there was no way out, that the floodgates had opened, and that's when she proceeded to confess her involvement and Michael's involvement.
Mike Simons is found guilty of the first-degree murder of his wife, Jenna, and sentenced to life, no chance of parole. For giving evidence, Jeff Hamilton faces the lesser charge of second-degree murder. He's sentenced to 15 years to life, with an additional 7 years for the attempted murder of Aspen Lum. Katie Belflower, a juvenile at the time, is convicted of first-degree murder and receives 25 years to life.
She decided that she needed to kill somebody for something as minor as romantic jealousy. And not only did she do it once, she did it twice.
It's said that hell has no fury like a woman scorned.
Are you just using me?
But when a woman is rejected by the one she truly loves,
There you won't
Just come. Hey, hey!
her fury can become fatal. California Navy serviceman Victor Siedo is everyone's buddy.
Close. Victor, he was a guy who had a big heart. Had a lot of family and friends. People loved him. Thought he was a great guy.
It's Victor's outgoing nature that first attracts 22-year-old Vegas Bray.
I wasn't on the ball.
They met while they were both in the Navy.
I just watched you walk in and I couldn't help but come by your drink and...
Vegas Bray was an intelligent person.
Thank you.
And socially liked by the people that knew her.
In 2010, they join forces. But Victor has another love in his life. He's totally dedicated to his 7-year-old son.
Come on, you can beat the old man.
Victor had a son with another woman. They weren't married, but they kept in contact, and they were friendly.
The boy is Victor's top priority, and the time they spend together is precious.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, babe, how are you?
Come on, take a shot.
Who's that? Who are you with?
Oh, that's just my son's mom.
What is she doing there?
She didn't want Victor to be with anyone else but her.
She's just picking our son up.
Are you seeing her?
Get real, I'll talk later.
Victor wants the best for his son, so he leaves the Navy to better his prospects.
Had served his country and was moving on to the next step to better his education and move on with his next career.
Vegas also opts out of the Navy.
What are you up to?
Want a sneak peek of my new uniform?
Her new career is waitressing at a strip club.
She thought that the sexual way of getting things was the only way to get things.
But Vegas can never keep Victor all to herself. Wherever they go, he sees someone he knows.
Hey, how you doing?
So good, how are you?
You look great.
All Vegas sees is competition.
Vegas, meet my old friend Sheree.
Hi, I'm Sherry.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Can I grab you a minute? Yeah.
She approached the relationship in such a way it was going to be her and nobody else.
How well do you know her?
She's just a friend.
I want to go.
Don't be so crazy.
Now.
Hey, guys. Sorry, I gotta go.
At first, Victor tolerates Vegas's jealousy, but she crosses the line on family time.
I thought we could go away this weekend.
No, I can't do it. Got my boy.
Victor loves his son, and so he's wanting to do whatever's best for his son, so I don't think he's gonna let anything get in the way of that.
But what about me?
My boy comes first.
You spend all your time with him.
The jealousy built as the relationship progressed.
If you can't handle it, I don't want to be with you.
Victor eventually broke off the relationship.
Don't say that.
I mean it.
I don't think Victor had any understanding about how bad it's going to get.
In 1905, 18-year-old Marie Arthur has just walked out of her marriage and into a seedy bar in Topeka, Kansas. A world away from the virtuous life she's just escaped as a devoted wife and a preacher's daughter.
Lady, you lost?
I want to order a drink.
The preacher's daughter to walk away from her spouse. I'm sure her family was scandalized by it.
Well, I can't serve no lady.
I assure you, I'm no lady.
She wanted more adventure than married life in Topeka, Kansas offered.
She was kind of a wild child.
All right, then what do you have?
What do you recommend?
She wanted to live life on her terms.
I'll say, how about some of the good stuff?
Whatever you're having.
30-year-old bartender Frank Broadway Jones is just the kind of adventure Marie is looking for.
Frank Broadway Jones was described as a dashing divorcee, so he had a marriage behind him as well.
Do you dance?
Do now.
They fall in love and embark on a new life amid Salt Lake City's mining boom. But starting from scratch is not so easy.
So you sure you got no work for me at all?
Nothing.
It wasn't long before Marie realized she couldn't count on Frank to bring home the bacon.
The future looks bleak.
Says you got no work for another week.
You won't be able to pay the rent.
No. That is all we got.
Oh, Johnny, I'll have my regular. Maybe it's time I made some money.
They have to live, and so Marie comes up with this idea.
Sorry to bother you. I'm looking for some work.
Oh, what kind of work?
Well, the kind that you do.
I know. I'll be a prostitute. I'll be a hooker.
How do I get started?
Oh, well, I can tell you all about that.
Marie joins the ranks of working girls who service the mining communities outside the city.
Hi, how are you doing? Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
No money, no kiss.
Maria's literally a female entrepreneur. She did what she felt she needed to do, and she was breadwinner, really. Frank is living in Salt Lake while she's away, sometimes a couple weeks at a time.
Frank's not wild about the new arrangement.
Now you know that this is strictly business. My heart belongs to you.
But everything else is for sale.
But he soon adapts.
She was bringing in lots of money. He didn't have to work hard, and this went on for years.
But Frank's long weeks alone in the city lead him into temptation.
God, I've missed you.
Miss you too.
The day would come when Frank met someone else. And he fell in love.
In San Diego in 2012, Victor Siedo has fallen out of love with his jealous ex, Vegas Bray. She can't accept the breakup and is out for revenge.
She committed a series of acts of vandalism against his car, his apartment.
She's trying to inflict pain on him after she's felt pain, and she wants to do her damage.
The harassment gets so bad, Victor moves to a friend's apartment.
All right. Man, he's fast.
Oh, you couldn't see that?
She followed him, she tracked him, she was obsessed with him.
Through her persistence, she was able to find him.
She's becoming more dangerous.
She threw a jar through the living room window, right where, Victor and one of his friends were there seated.
Man, you gotta call the cops.
Victor did not want to open up confrontations with her. He was reluctant to police intervention against her.
The stalking goes on for almost a year.
Hey, it's me. I'm doing it tough. Can we talk?
Then Vegas tries one more time to lure Victor back.
Yeah, okay. Your place sounds great.
They drank together, caught up, talking with each other.
That probably was not a good move. That's only going to get her hopes of that something's going to rekindle.
And sure enough, something does.
And ended up having, an intimate relationship that night, which proved to be disastrous.
Another intimate relationship is headed for disaster in Salt Lake City in 1913. While Marie is away working, Frank is sleeping with a young widow, Mae Dunbar. He even justifies his infidelity.
Marie is being intimate with many men during the week, and Frank was just being intimate with one woman.
What's wrong?
Inevitably, Marie learns of Frank's secret.
He was with another woman.
What woman?
It looked like they were together.
Marie is very upset when she finds out that Frank's being unfaithful.
Let me explain.
Explain what? That you're a two-timing louse?
Well, it's not like you haven't been sleeping around.
How dare you?
Well, just calm. Hey, just calm down. Calm down.
He was like, well, wait a minute. I'm doing what you're doing, only on a much smaller scale. But that wasn't the point for her, not even close.
Hey, calm down. Look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
There is a difference. Frank was in love. Marie was working.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Promise me that you will never see her again.
I promise. Okay? I promise.
Frank keeps his word. Their relationship is back on track.
Can't believe he said that.
But after 6 months, a chance encounter will destroy everything.
They were out at a restaurant, and who should be there but Mae? Frank acknowledged her just with the barest of nods.
What?
I thought you said it was over.
It is.
It was just that nod and kind of smile, and that was it for Marie.
Old resentments resurface. Their bitter argument continues into the next day, January 9th, 1914.
Marie, can't we just put this behind us?
I saw the way you looked at her.
What about all that men you've been sleeping with, huh? Yeah.
Marie and Frank kept a gun in the room, and that was very unfortunate.
Marie, please. No, don't.
She shoots him twice. That bullet nicked his heart, and that's what caused him to die almost instantaneously.
When she saw what she had done and it hit her, she turned the gun on herself and pulled the trigger.
I think I killed him.
The hotel desk clerk by this time's heard 3 shots. He's up the stairs to find out what's going on.
What did you do? Wait, stop!
It was a serious attempt she made on her life. That was not a cry for help. She meant to kill herself.
Marie survives to stand trial.
I didn't mean to kill him.
The fact that Marie tried to kill herself, and it was a very serious attempt, weighed heavily on the judge.
He convicts Marie Arthur of involuntary manslaughter and sentences her to just 1 year in prison. She's released on parole after only 4 months.
She was out and free to conduct her life again, however she wanted.
Marie lives as a free woman for another 34 years. She dies of natural causes at the age of 61.
She was heartbroken over Frank being in love with another woman. And she freely admits she did it out of jealousy. This made her a sympathetic figure in the eyes of anyone that had ever been in love.
It's jealousy that cost Vegas Bray her perfect boyfriend, Victor Siedo. But after a night of alcohol-fueled lust, she's back in his arms.
You know, what they had done was a bad idea.
Let's get breakfast.
Victor wakes up with a hangover and a severe case of remorse.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Why? Are you just using me?
It appears though she felt used, felt taken advantage of to some degree.
It never works between us.
She is thinking long-term. She's already become possessive. She wants Victor, and that's it. And Victor's thinking, well, you know, maybe this has to be broken off completely.
She was rejected. When he turned her down, she went from 0 to 90 miles an hour. The rage kicked in.
Vegas plans her end game for some time.
Looking back at what Vegas Bray was writing on her computer for the months leading up to this, she had a very well-defined plan.
She even has a gun.
Somebody who is obsessed with you, owning a gun is a lethal combination.
October 16th, 2012, Vegas returns for one final visit.
Are you gonna let me in?
Yeah, of course.
I think when she goes to the apartment, she's made up her mind.
Vegas, I never wanted to hurt you.
We could be good together.
It just won't work.
Well, that's a shame.
She made a decision. If she's not going to have him, no one else will.
I don't know what to say to you.
She surprised him.
Vegas, no dope!
She shot him 6 times.
And then takes the time to reload.
She pointed the gun at his head and fired rapidly 3 more times.
She gave a lot of thought to the shooting process and killing him, and probably her story afterwards was something that she didn't spend a lot of time working on.
What's your emergency?
There's been a shooting.
Okay, ma'am. Who's been shot?
My boyfriend. He's committed suicide.
To infer or to imagine that Victor Salcedo had somehow committed suicide and shot himself 9 times is just preposterous.
Any trained investigator would know this was a homicide.
The suicide story just didn't hold up for very long, and that day, she's arrested.
In 2016, Vegas Bray is convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to 50 years to life.
That was an extremely violent and rageful act. Her emotions were playing out through the barrel of that gun.
Vegas wanted a boyfriend who gave his undivided attention. She needed total control.
And one way for her to achieve her goal was to kill him. She's exercised the ultimate control over his life and his destiny. She's taken it away from him.